There are scams in here that I didn't even know existed, and they're so freaking clever. I want to say since mobiles came out, about half of the player base is somewhat new, lower level, or making the come up to 100 combat. The best way to never get scammed is don't involve yourself with the scammers. Don't try and play games with them. Never ever drop your items. If you guys do find the video informative, don't forget to throw a thumbs up. Let's get into it. Starting off with the first scam, and probably one of the most deadly, simple scams out there that many players would fall for. Most of us know about the Varrock rooftop agility course, but many of us don't know about the 2 deadly scams lurking on this rooftop. Most often, the scammer would find his victim at the Grand Exchange, risking quite a bit. He would go up to him, make a little bit of small talk, and say, hey man, bring a couple of those items you're wearing, and I'll show you how to make a lot of gold. And let me just explain, follow me. The scammer is going to take the victim to this exact area where you actually jump over. After the victim has dropped his items, he will then trade the scammer, for 50 mil, 30 mil, 100 mil, whatever the guy's promised him, but he's never actually going to give him the gold. The main point of this part is to, of course, have the victim get panicked because he's being stalled for so long in the trade, and the scammer's never going to give him the gold. He's going to exit out and then try and spam click his items, and then he jumps over and boom, you will never see your items again. They're most likely going to appear before you could run all the way back on the agility course. But of course, there's a new scam only 20 squares away, and it's pretty damn clever. The scammer is going to give you 28 toy mice right when you drop the item. He could actually even give you some gold as well to make you accept it. The catch here is that you cannot drop toy mice on this area right here next to the flag, and maybe it's because the building is like slanted. I'm not even sure. Definitely a deadly scam.
No worries. It's not like I chuck that every day. Oh boys, we fucked up. We're in a fucking PvP world, boys.
Moving on to another scam that's actually been out for a couple years, but since mobiles came back, it is just running rampant. When I explain this, you're probably going to think in your head, yeah, freaking right, dude, that would never happen. But there's actually a couple loot compilation videos on YouTube of over billions and billions. So let's say an Armado Godsword is 17 mil. They're going to be sitting at the Grand Exchange saying buying Armado Godsword for 21 mil, which is obviously a good price. Once you get into trade with them, they're going to ask you to put it up, and they're going to small talk you for like 5, 10, 15 seconds and try to make you forget that you have the item in the trade box. And then they're going to put up a Camelot or Varrock tab and be like, dude, my main is here. Come trade him. He's at Cami. He'll give you 21 mil. And you would think no one would ever fall for this, but people are falling for it probably hourly at this point, considering there's so many tab scammers. You would want to pay attention to this one. Most likely the scammer will actually have a friend trying to convince the victim, saying, dude, you can anti-scam, you can make some money, and trying to tell him how it's done, but there's always a twist. The scammer would lead the victim all the way to the Temple of Ikov. First off, he's going to trade him a candle in a tinder box, tell him to light it, and then give him back the box so he just has a lit candle. Now, once that step is done, the scammer is going to lead you all the way to the Boots of Lightness. Like I said, he's going to tell you to drop your items somewhere in the room. The scammer would wait upstairs and tell you that he's trying to buy your extinguished candle for like 50 mil or something, which clearly just doesn't make sense. But the fact is, once you extinguish your candle, there's 2 alternate universes downstairs. So yeah, once the victim unlights the candle, there's no going back, and obviously the scammer has multiple candles and tinder boxes with lit candles. He's gonna go down, wait a minute for your items to appear, which you can never get back to that realm, and boom, he's taken your items. I actually saw this about a day ago, and I thought I might as well jam in this video because I was making it. It's not too deadly, but it is still pretty clever. Quite a bit of gambling / doubling bots, and they could actually be coded to just log out if you trade them over a couple mil or 2, and there's actually real players having an auto typer trying to look like the real bots. So people go up and trade them and trust them, and then again, if they get a big trade, they're out.
Now all I hear is raindrops.
I think I've seen people message me multiple times about this, losing 100 mils at a time. It's basically 2 scams in one, so watch out. Most often, the group of scammers are going to scout someone from Grand Exchange or even Varrock Center, someone that looks pretty juicy and rich. Normally, one of the scammers will convince you to watch a video that has ill-informed knowledge. The main scammer is going to take you through this gate right here next to the rune shop all the way to the farthest house next to the, city wall. He's going to trade you an outfit of priest robes, and he's gonna make you try and go through this door, drop your items, and trade him back the priest robes, but no one's freaking dumb enough to do that. The scam already happened at the gate. Let me explain. The scammer is going to convince you to drop your items right here and then actually walk to the wall right here 1 square farther, and if you can see, the gate closes and opens at the same spot, and there's a little like a water spigot thing that is sticking out, so you get jammed and stuck. A group of players is going to log in underneath and start, you know, going through the gate repeatedly, but this gate never gets stuck, unlike some of the other like doors and gates, which I will cover later on in the video.
Oh, no, he got me. Fuck, I just got scammed.
Moving on, the quick remove trade, not much of a plot to it. It's basically just a freaking speed game. Some people do have like auto clickers that they can go extremely fast with the mouse, way faster than what you could anticipate. And obviously they put up, you know, a whole bunch of wealth, more wealth than what you have, but then they take away an item, they put back another one, and it's normally the same color, so, you know, your brain gets all juked out. Freaking clever. Whoever invented this is like 200 IQ. They're basically going to wear a Menophyte outfit and make you wear the same outfit, you know, beguile you somehow. They want you to wear the Pharaoh Scepter, which is 6 mil. They would actually have to trade the person 6 mil, so they'd make sure the wealth that they would get is a lot more than that. And basically they say, dude, wield the outfit you're going to accept because of Pharaoh Scepter, and you click on the Pharaoh Scepter, but the first option is to teleport, not to wield. I've covered this before, but it's probably the most dangerous scam in the past year and a half that has been done and taken the most amount of gold from players. To explain it in a simple way, the scammer is going to have a level like 20, 30, or 40 account with only 40 range basically, and he's going to try and say, you know, someone stake me 200 mil plus. And any high level is like, dude, is this a freaking joke? After the scammer got your attention, he would then give you a maple short bow with rune arrows, but everyone knows that you can only use adamant arrows on it, so they just go and get adamant arrows basically out of the bank, and then they meet him at the duel arena. But there's a catch. He turns off the shield option and all these small little things because it's his rules, of course, and the main account doesn't really notice, and then the guy just freaking unloads a blowpipe and whips out the darts and starts just darting you to death, and you can never use the bow. And again, a lot of these players are actually real world trading and doing this for IRL cash. We can see right here a freaking $800 scam. If you've checked out OSRS on Twitch, you'll definitely have noticed the epidemic. Normally it's always a very big streamer such as Bodhi or SparkMac, and of course it's you know, quitting RuneScape, and people are like, no way, Bodhi's quitting RuneScape. They go out and check it, and it says click the link below stream to find out why I'm quitting, which just doesn't make sense at all. It just doesn't make sense, and it's a totally different account. They have 8 total viewers and like nothing in their bio basically. The site will then ask for your username and password, but it gets even better. They ask for your bank pin and your authenticator. Seems legit. Once you fill everything out, you find that it's an inactive thread anyway, and by this time you've probably already been hacked. There's also another scam that's very common. The scammer would have a couple accounts auto-typing on different worlds, probably even bots, who freaking knows, and they're going to want you to look up a giveaway on YouTube. It could be 100 mil, it could be 5 bill. They say, hey man, it's a giveaway, blah, blah, blah. Check out the description and click on the link, which you never want to do. That, not to mention you could get a keylogger from these links, which of course would make you lose your RuneScape account, could even take your credit card info and some more personal details. On top of that, beware of any emails from a fake Jagex company. It looks very similar. They're gonna say, you know, your account is it's banned right now, we need your info to reclaim it, just some dumb stuff like that. You never know what they're gonna say. I believe Jagex has stated that they'll never email you, it'll only be done in the in-game message center as well. Are you ready for one of the most deadly scams in all of OSRS, and definitely in this video as well? I actually got an email very recently about this. It all starts off just like another scam or lore. There's probably multiple scammers involved, normally 2 or even 3. So this scam in particular was done at the Varrock Castle. The scammer is normally going to have you come like naked with nothing on or no items to make you feel safe. He's going to show you how it's done just by like the yew trees or something, and then he's going to have you go back, get your items, and then he's going to say, you know, the real game begins. begins. At the same time, the second scammer, aka Convincer, is, fooling the victim to make him think that he can actually scam him, and it's very simple. This is where it gets really clever. So right when you go up to the stairs on the second level, there's actually a door right there. And they made an update like probably a year ago because people were getting scammed with a whole bunch of players clicking on the doors, open, close, open, close, open, close, like 50 people. You could never actually get through the door. They made a patch where basically the door gets stuck open for like 20 seconds. That is right, the door would then be stuck open, trapping the player or his items on that one square to the wall where he can never get back. This has been happening for over a year now, and Jagex has tried to fix it, but they have been unsuccessful. In simple terms, a big ass clan is going to target you if you're scold and have a nice +1 item like an AGS or, a Dragon Claw, something like that. One person's going to de-spear you. They're going to have, 10 to 15 people either mace or BGS you, and the whole stack adds up at the same time in one tick. So you basically get instantly smited and there's nothing you can do.
A fucking fire cape, goddammit.
The last scam I will cover, and a very common one with all the mobile players coming back, trying to get fire capes, maybe even some people want an inferno cape. The scammer would have multiple accounts, normally accounts that he's already hacked, and then turns them into auto-typing bots, spread throughout the Grand Exchange and whatnot. Once you make contact, they're going to ask you for like $50 for them to get a fire cape. It could even be over $300 to $500 to get an inferno cape. So one of two things that can happen right here. The second option being extremely deadly, which I'll cover in a second, but the first one, you're either just going to get flat out hacked with the gear that you actually have to do a fire cape. There is a safer option, but in theory, it's like 10 times more dangerous. So what I'm talking about here is the team viewer. This can be found on Skype, TeamSpeak, and some other programs like that, where you basically, you give authority for the other people that you're in the call with to actually take control of your computer screen. They could even look into your files, get your credit card, and do some very sketchy stuff.
You're so amazing. Oh, my mom's not home. Fuck yes! Was Jag hard? A fucking fire cape, goddammit. You just fucking hacked me! What's your problem, dude? Well, why would you do that? Dude! What's your problem? I worked so hard for that! Dude! What's your problem? You why? Why? You didn't get me a fire cape? No! I worked so hard! I worked so hard for that gunstar, dude! What's your problem? You fucking asshole! You fucking liar! What's your problem? What the fuck? You didn't give me a fire cape, you fucking liar!
Didn't drop anything. I died. I died and lost like 14 mil by accident.
Well, why didn't you bring my BGS in there, you fuck?
I didn't. I sold it and then I died.
Fucking idiot! What's your problem? Now you dropped everything on my other account too!
I do hope this video was informative, and especially if you're coming back from mobile. And don't forget to throw a thumbs up so other players can be notified and aware of these scams so they don't lose their bank and quit the game. Feels bad. Hopefully you guys do have a good one.